Hey, this is Matt. I play drums in Pagan.
And my name is Dan. I play the bass guitar in Pagan.
And we are Pagan.
And you're watching Rhino Radio.
So we're freezing outside with the lovely boys of Pagan.
Yep.
Okay, enjoying the non-Australian weather.
Fa freddo.
Fredo. Very cold.
How are you guys doing?
Very well.
Good.
Very well.
Good. Very good. Yeah.
So you're at the home of metal. Okay, and we had a lovely joke thinking that Nikki's going to be here with us.
Oh no.
Okay,
Oh no.
Nikki's last name is Bruman.
Bruman.
Yes.
And the locals are called Brummies.
Yeah. You're joking.
So we thought about...
Do you want to go get her?
We should. Well, now she's not leaving because she's a Brummie. So welcome to
You
Birmingham.
have to tell her that before
That
the
is
show.
We
great.
will. Halfway through the
love
set.
that.
That's really
We're
good.
going to heckle her with that.
Please.
Absolutely, you should.
So Rhino Radio welcomes you to Birmingham.
Thank you.
It's lovely to
And-
be here.
Thank you.
If I'm mistaken, we had a question about your cult thingy around it. Okay? So Andy was really curious about
Right.
how serious that is.
It's kind of serious.
It's become serious.
It's become a lot. Yeah.
Have you had people dedicate their lives to you in that sense?
I know, I think there's at least 2 pagan tattoos that I know of.
wow,
That's
okay.
pretty dedicated.
That's pretty hardcore.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess the whole idea behind the cult thing was that I think really early on when the band started, we wanted to do something that was kind of a little bit more than just a band that makes records, and we wanted it to kind of be something that if you were interested in the band, you could kind of be a part of it as well, and make it sort of this big sort of overall experience. So, the whole thing about the cult and kind of the aesthetic that runs through not only the music but the artwork, our social media, our videos, it's all this sort of we try to create this kind of big world around the music, because I just think it's fun for us. I think it's fun for people who like the band too.
Absolutely. I think, we, like you said, we sort of wanted to create something that had a little bit more of a theatrical element. I don't want to say that it was too conscious in terms of the branding that Pagan have, but we certainly did want to put some time and some effort into creating a really cool logo. And you'll see at the show tonight that the candle cross that we have we got a neon light made up that we really wanted to bring on to every show and set it up.
Yeah.
Create that bit of a club vibe.
Totally. As soon as you walk in, you see it. It's on, even for the support bands and stuff.
I think I saw it when you were saying.
Yeah. So it's sort of as soon as you walk in, it doesn't matter what venue it is anywhere in the world now. I can say that. It's for that night. It's
a pagan.
It's global,
church,
baby.
It's for us. So, yeah.
Do you get
Global
people,
cult.
other fans, or even just people that got exposed to your story, that actually think that you're recruiting to a cult? Because I've spoken to Devilskin a few weeks ago, and they told me they get a lot of messages from some countries asking how can they join their recruitment to the devil.
You know what? I'm not sure
Have you
that
copped any of
I
that?
haven't really
I'm
copped
not
any of
sure.
it.
We're really a pop band. People aren't sending us
it's
messages saying.
Yeah, it's really not as metal as it kind of comes across, unfortunately. But I mean, if you're, I guess any band that's kind of touring and putting out records is essentially recruiting to some sort of some sort of religious following in a way. You're trying to build this sort of group of people that believe in what you're doing. So I mean, it really is no different to a Jonestown, but we're not going to kill anyone.
Yeah, I was scared of saying that.
Yeah.
Now you started, so...
Well, I mean, who knows where we'll take it, Who knows how far we'll take the aesthetic.
Yeah, that's what he said.
You were, wow.
And I like taking things very literal.
Good.
The video for Good Grief was all about fighting yourself.
Right.
When was the last time, or were you ever in an actual fight?
I think the closest I ever got to being in an actual fight was with you. When we were in Brisbane one time, we had an argument about making like spaghetti noodles.
No, this is an embarrassing story.
It's fine. And he basically told me that you can use a cucumber to make spaghetti. My argument was no, it's a zucchini that you have to use.
I got confused.
We're in the middle of a 12-date tour as well, right in the middle. We'd already had enough of each other, and I got a little bit heated. There was a few slaps thrown.
We do fire up over pasta and different ways you can do
thing.
the sauce, the sugo, and but
in terms of real fights though, like I don't care for that shit.
I got a little bit worried in was it Manchester? No, Bristol the other day.
Manchester, that dude.
There was a sketchy part that we went past.
I
had a scarf over my head and he was yelling out some really nasty profanities. And Nikki grabbed me and she's like, "We got to get out of here."
Yeah, that's right.
I'm not even going to repeat what he was calling me.
Yeah, that's right.
I thought I was going to...
There was that sketchy dude in Manchester as well who was like lurking. We're at like a nightclub and he was lurking around our jackets and bags and stuff. They were all at a booth and we had to have a few words with him and tell him why it's not okay to...
We've been here for 4 days and we have a couple of stories. By the end of the tour, we will definitely have an answer for you.
Great Britain makes us want to fight, dude. It's
I mean, just reminding you, Australia started as a British prison.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I know.
Not to say anything, but...
No, yeah, maybe it's...
It's still
it's
Convict blood, hey? We're actually Italian. Our heritage isn't exactly English, but hey.
But it's all right. Well, when in Rome.
Yeah.
When in Birmingham.
Yeah,
Dan summed it up pretty
all about
nice.
tea and biscuits, so you can just relax.
Yeah. I've had some good tea while I've been here. It's been sick.
I just finished my chamomile. I'll put that down.
Lovely.
And if I'm mistaken, Nikki has a twin.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Does it involve any pranking that she pulls on you? I know that she has this weird habit of keeping the door open to some part of her day.
The toilet thing, yeah.
She just loves saying that.
Yeah, Nikki's a very open person. She's very open about most aspects of her life. Her voice is a little bit crooked tonight, so she's trying to get good for the show. But I'm sure if she was here, she'd have a real field day telling you about any facet of her lifestyle. Really,
Yeah. So she never had her twin sister come on stage and
we played.
Has she done that?
No, she's never done that. But we played a show with Pennywise and the Bronx in Melbourne, and after the show, a bunch of people were going up to Olivia, her twin sister, and were like, "Oh, you were great tonight. You were so great." And they look fucking different. Like they're identical twins, like by DNA standards, but the way they present themselves is so different. Like Olivia's tattooed and she has like a nose ring and blue hair and stuff, and they look so different. But so many people were like, "That was great." Yeah, that was funny. That's probably the closest.
a few drinks in, and you might look like Nikki as well.
Hey. Come at me.
So, seeing as how in the past you guys have been a band to openly speak about gender equality, issues like that, just wondering whether you feel the loudness of the music, if you like, might potentially drown it out to some degree?
So as if to say maybe the message gets overshadowed by
a little bit.
the intensity of the music.
Yeah, and how some people, for example, wouldn't be able to hear the lyrics that have got a very poignant message.
That's a really good question. I think that I think that the overall sound of the music. Goodness me.
Jeez.
I think the way that the music sounds, though, is kind of part and parcel with the message.
Yeah.
I don't think you could really convey the same sort of message that Nikki tries to really, I guess, put across. Like, it would just come across very differently, I think, if our band sounded differently. So, I think she has to sing the way that she does because of the music she's singing to.
Okay.
And she would probably not take that approach if the music was different. So, I don't know if it necessarily gets drowned out. I've always really liked heavy music because almost the inaudible lyricism actually kind of forces you to actually read lyrics and sit there and spend time with them. And, so I think to an extent it almost makes people kind of a little bit more curious about the message, and then therefore will,
like it's more worthwhile digging
yeah,
into.
we'll maybe sit there with our record and sit with the lyrics and or maybe like not totally get the whole picture from listening to the music. So maybe they'll watch an interview that maybe Nikki does or something like that. Yeah. So I don't think it takes away from it. I definitely think it just makes people more inquisitive about it.
Yeah.
It makes it a bit more like I keep using the word experience in this interview, but if it does give you a reason to like sit with the record or sit on YouTube and watch things that we've maybe spoken about and or read interviews and stuff. And I think that's maybe how it contributes to it.
Yeah. I'd liken it a bit to old school, like Rage Against the Machine, for example.
Yeah.
Like, that message goes with that sound very well.
Totally. Yeah.
So it's...
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. That's a nice compliment. Yeah, cool.
I'm going to confront you with an online rumor. I hope you guys like rumors.
Okay.
Cool. Rumor about us?
About you.
Spit
That's
it out.
sick that there's rumors about us on the internet.
There's a rumor that you guys kind of did the band thing backwards. You planned your breakup before you even released anything.
Oh, this is interesting. I wonder how it started as a rumor. Like we've probably said things in interviews before where we never intended on releasing a record. So we were just jamming. We were writing a bunch of songs. We released a couple of singles.
There was sort of a loose plan where we were going to just release periodically over time. We were going to release 13 songs just digitally, and then that was going to be it.
Yeah.
That was sort of the plan. And then people liked the band, and we liked the band, and then we kind of had to go back on that,
Yeah.
Yeah, it never really panned out the way we'd hoped.
There was never a plan to like create this idea of longevity with Pagan. We were just we were honestly wrote a bunch of songs and we were just I
literally.
I would have
like,
quit. I reckon I would have just
till someone quit was sort of the end result. So, I mean, and now we're in fucking Birmingham, like.
We're talking about the second record and the third record, and
yeah, for sure. And I think that mentality. There's something about having this mentality of like, we're just gonna do this for as long as we can be bothered. It really makes you kind of almost, I don't know, that attitude of like, this, we're not doing this to try and get heaps of tours and play heaps of shows and do all of that. It just having that kind of really like nonchalant attitude towards the whole thing made it so much more fun. And I think because we were having so much more fun, we wrote better music for it, and
So you put less pressure on yourselves.
Totally, and we just didn't expect anything from it. I think it's such a big thing. Like the second that you stop expecting anything from music or any creative endeavor, I think that's when that starts to give back to you, because you're not trying to shake a tree for a coconut. Of course. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll set you free in a second. I'll keep you warm as well. What's up in the future for Pagan? Blackwash was released in June, just over the summer, and you've mentioned that there are already plans about a sequel. So what should we expect from the Church of Pagan?
We're gonna start writing properly. Like, I think we've got lots of ideas already, but
we want to start in January is the plan. We kind of just want to. We got a friend of ours. He has a studio which is sort of like I don't want to call it country Victoria, but it's like an hour or so outside of Melbourne, outside of the city. He's got like a really nice kind of farm, I suppose, and he's got this shed out there where Pagan did our first demo, and the plan is to sort of like get in there for like 4 or 5 days and just force ourselves to sort of, not even force ourselves, I shouldn't have said that, but see what we come up with.
We can just keep everything mic'd up, and so like the Blackwash was written basically like we'd practice once or twice a week, and it was sort of like whatever we came out with that night was kind of the skeleton of a song, whereas this time we want to try and do it in these sort of bursts where we can literally just sleep there and wake up in the morning and play and just eat food and just kind of all be together and not be like super tired from a day of work and not be freezing cold, because the place that we wrote Blackwash at sucked. It was horrible. It was like a storage shed. It was just freezing cold or like super hot in the
true
summer.
Artist.
No.
No.
I hate it.
No, definitely not.
In terms of like what you might be able to expect though. Like, I don't want to create more rumors or anything like that. But you know, if you look, if you listen to Blackwash carefully, you'll hear like influences. I wouldn't say influences, but there's certain, you know, like dance grooves and disco beats that we sort of like to talk about, because we do listen to like a real broad array of music. But you know, I don't know, like on the next record, I'd love to try and incorporate even more stuff. So I don't know, I'm listening to a lot of jazz. Dan's listening to sort of a lot of electronic music at the moment. I'm not even sure how it's going to work. Like, I have no idea if it can work or not.
I'm excited and scared at the same time right now.
That's
us too. Us too. Us too.
Terrified.
You mentioned you're hoping to do 4 days. I know that Blackwash was recorded in 2 days. So should we expect a double?
Oh, no.
I don't think Blackwash was recorded in 2 days. I think well, the drum,
just...
no, vocals was actually Nikki smashed everything
One night.
in one day. She did like 10 songs in one day. I think the drums probably took 2 days.
Maybe 2.5 days. We recorded we record our drums and bass together, like, so kind of get this sort of like live feel, but it takes a bit of time.
I can't imagine doing the next one in under a week. I don't know.
No. I think we want to put a bit of time into this too, and really make it a different experience to writing and recording the last record. Because I think that in turn it'll be a different record too. I don't know.
Okay, guys, anything else you want to add to fans and listeners before we say goodbye and heat up?
I guess just thanks to anyone who's come to any of these shows or buys the record or fucking, you know, reads online rumors about us. That's sick. That's we really appreciate it. We're so happy to be here doing this, and a little bit overwhelming and hard to talk about without getting a bit emotional sometimes, but it's great. Thank you guys too.
We'll hug it out in a second.
Yeah, fucking
guys, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of the tour.